Good afternoon. I'd like to provide an update on the protest activity in Canberra. Today we have responded to about 500 protesters who attended the front gates of Government House. The crowd there were generally well behaved and peaceful, and no arrests were made. We are expecting activity tomorrow around Canberra, predominantly at Parliament House. We're asking Canberrans to plan their trips into town tomorrow, and if they need to get to locations where protesters may be, please allow for additional travel time. I'm happy to take on any questions.
Commander, there's been reports and video on social media of shop staff being abused by some protesters. What do police make of this?
We're not impressed. We're here to support any people who feel that they may be in danger. We are more than happy for anybody to contact police if they feel that someone has been unlawful or conducted an offence. Please contact us through Crime Stoppers, or if you see an offence occurring at the time, please call 131 444.
Could they face penalties, these demonstrators, if they're going into a shop and not complying with directions to leave from shop staff?
Police will take appropriate actions against any unlawful activity. Naturally, we'll choose the time and place to do it if we have other priorities with protest activity. However, everyone's safety is our priority.
Probably a pretty big impact on police resources. Are police getting pretty fed up with these protesters?
Police are here to do our job, to keep the community safe. We're putting every resource we can towards these protesters and their activities throughout the week.
Is there a limit to your patience though?
Police have very good patience, but having said that, we are like the society here and the Canberrans, and we do want this protest activity to end peacefully.
Is one of the difficulties for police that there's no point of liaison, and so you get no prior warning of protest activity, so you can't protect public safety? Is that an issue for police?
Police try and use every bit of intelligence that we can to preempt any protest activity, and in doing so we are there normally when and where it occurs.
Are these protesters by and large behaving?
By and large, a lot of the protesters are behaving. We respect that and we thank them for that.
Are they going to be able to stay at Exhibition Park for some time? I mean, how long are they going to be able to stay in that location? Indefinitely, perhaps?
I believe Exhibition Park is like many campgrounds where they do actually have pre-booked events happening and occurring over time, so that will need to be taken into account when the protesters look at staying on any longer than they choose to.
Any Canberrans being called out potentially getting aggressive or violent to protesters?
My understanding is any of the offences to date were not by Canberrans.
What's your advice to people when dealing with demonstrators if they are becoming aggravated, if they're getting in their face, if they're abusing them for not wearing a mask or something like that?
For the Canberrans, please do not take matters into your own hands. Please call police if you think your safety is an issue. If it's life-threatening, 000, otherwise 131 444. We are here to do our job. Those responsible will be held to account.
Has there been any arrests through the course of the week of demonstrators for doing the wrong thing?
So yesterday we had an arrest of a motorist who was driving a vehicle who struck one of the traffic controllers as he was trying to stop the vehicle. That traffic controller was eventually taken to hospital for minor injuries. That person was arrested and faced the courts today. This morning we had two other issues with persons in vehicles, two different vehicles stopping traffic and causing a disturbance. Those persons also are facing the court.
That's pretty shocking that somebody who's just doing their job on the side of the road has been struck by a protester. I mean, what sort of penalties are the people responsible going to face for that?
I'm not quite sure of the exact penalties for that, but they will face the courts for what they've done, and you're right, it is not appropriate and it is shocking.
Was the arrest likely over actions in recent days?
We hope not. We hope that everyone does actually participate in a lawful and calm protest. We are the nation's capital. We expect people to come here and do that, but we will not tolerate unlawful activity.
Is that the biggest concern for you moving forward, just that volume of traffic and potentially more drivers getting aggressive?
A lot of it concern is around the traffic and also the disruption to the everyday activities of our society. So we are there to try and make that as easy as we can for everybody. But also when the actual protests occur, we'll be there for the safety of everyone involved, knowing that not all persons actually want to be disruptive.
Have you seen any further damage to property or infrastructure around the city?
No, we haven't seen any further damage.
Do you know how many of these demonstrators there are currently in Canberra?
We're guesstimating around 3,000 already, but that is a guesstimation.
And that number is expected to increase, is it, in coming days?
Potentially it will increase overnight. Tomorrow is the peak of what we expect to be their activity, but that's not to say it won't increase over time. Although, however, we do hope that a lot of those who came here for tomorrow's events do then go home.
How many police resources are attached to Operation Hawker?
The police resources actually peak and trough depending on what's happening at the time, and we also have our normal 24/7 policing around Canberra. So the numbers do change over the periods of the shifts.
Is it disrupting those other police operations, having to monitor these demonstrators all the time?
No, we have dedicated people monitoring these demonstrations and what's going on so that we don't actually take away from the safety of everyone else in the community around.
Are you drawing resources from other areas to assist with this operation?
Yes, ACT Policing works very closely with the rest of the AFP, and we have drawn on resources from the rest of the AFP to come and assist with this.
That includes Outcome 1, I gather?
That does include national resources from Outcome 1.
And do you have an intelligence team set up to monitor all the social media chat and things which are happening in the background to this protest?
We have a lot of intelligence teams working on all different areas of information that come into the hands of the AFP and across social media, yes.
Is there particular pieces of information that you're seeking from the public about demonstrations or activities around town?
We would like to ask the public, if you do have information, let us know. Report it to Crime Stoppers. You can do that either online or via telephone. Every bit of information could be handy for us to know if we're not already across it.
What about the message to the demonstrators?
We are here to support you, to demonstrate lawfully, as I said before, but please do it lawfully and peacefully, and then you will get your statement across and everyone will actually be happy with it.
Can you give us an idea of the volume of calls that is coming in into operations in relation to this protest?
Sorry, I'm not aware of the volume of calls.
Thanks, guys. That'll do us.